Hello everyone, this is Shell Point Today for Monday, March 16th. I'm Dan Filgreen. On today's show, we'll learn about Adrian Kerr's Academy class on Ireland coming up tomorrow. We'll recap the fabulous Quilt show that took place last week, and we'll find out about the assisted living breakfast and tour. But first, we want to remind you that the library annual fund drive is fully underway through March 25th. Don't forget that you can send your donations through Shell Point internal mail, drop them off at the library, or at either service desk. Tonight is the Southwest Florida Symphony Series at the Village Church. This will be a multimedia presentation with narration, images, and underscoring, charting the history of the creation of Dvorak's Ninth Symphony, From the New World. Then a performance of the piece will be conducted by Maestro Leif Bjalland. Antonin Dvorak created the symphony after his 2-year journey of discovery in the Americas. And now you can discover and learn all about his symphony for yourself. Tickets are available at either service desk or by calling 454-2067. If listening to the sounds of woodwinds, brass, and other symphonic musical instruments isn't to your liking, then there's another option for you tonight. Trade in the violin for more of a folk music flair and put on your dancing shoes. Come on out to the Island Health Club for some square dancing. All are welcome and no experience is necessary. This foot-stomping good time will commence at 6:30 p.m. For more information, contact Jane Johnston at jjejjohnston@gmail.com. Tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day. It's the time to get in touch with your Irish side, or just wear some green and pretend you're Irish if you wish. But if you'd like to learn more about the history of Ireland, St. Patrick, and what exactly is the Blarney Stone, then Adrian Kerr's Academy of Lifelong Learning class is just for you. Terry Kolath is on hand to tell us more about it.
Hi, I'm Terry Kolath. I'm here today with Professor Adrian Kerr, and we're talking about St. Patrick's Day. Hi, Adrian.
Hi, Terry. Nice to be with you.
Nice to be with you. Now, a number of years ago, you brought us a brief history of Ireland, and it was so interesting. And it was wonderful how you put that history of Ireland into just one session. And this time we're going to add a wee bit of music and a wee bit of refreshment and really have a celebration of St. Patrick's Day. Why do we do that?
St. Patrick conjures up all sorts of fascinating good things. And of course, as a child, you're taught that he was the patron saint of Ireland, and in fact he was English, but he went to Ireland to convert the people, the pagans of Ireland, to Christianity, which was the Pope had supported a number of religious leaders to spread the Christianity faith all the way through Europe, and this was part of that movement. Iona in Scotland was another one where there's a monastery, and he went to meet the Pope when he was a young man, and this made a big impression on him. And when he grew up and escaped from the Irish slave traders, he took up the challenge to convert the pagan Irish people to Christianity, and so we remember him as the patron saint of Ireland. Of course, as a child growing up, you remember the legend that when he was converting the pagans to Christianity, that he also managed to remove all the snakes from Ireland, and people to this day still believe that there are no snakes in Ireland because of St. Patrick. And one of the interesting things we're going to bring out of that conversation with St. Patrick is the concept of what the snake was. And in the medieval chronicles, they mentioned that he had removed all the serpents from the island. But in those days, a serpent, as in the Garden of Eden, was temptation, was a negative thing, was a figmentation of the devil, was an evil. So when they said he cleared Ireland of serpents, it meant that he actually cleared paganism from the land. And they used that example rather than saying paganism. They said snakes.
I hope you can join us. If you're Irish or not, you can take a little time to celebrate in the morning on the 17th of March with Professor Adrian Kerr. You'll have more than a little music and more than a little sweet. You'll have the brief history of Ireland. Please sign up at either service desk.
Also, tomorrow in the morning, you can enjoy breakfast and a tour while learning about assisted living. Rita Southern, Director of Assisted Living and Resident and Support Services, invites you to this informative presentation to give you a better understanding and the opportunity to see the assisted living facilities.
Hi, I'm Rita Southern, the Director of Assisted Living here at Shell Point. I'm here to talk with you today a little bit about an opportunity that Shell Point residents have to come and learn more about assisted living. Several times a year we host what we call our tea and tours. This is an opportunity for Shell Point residents to come to the Arbor or to the King's Crown, or both, to find out as much information as you might need or want about assisted living here at Shell Point and what your options are. These formal sessions allow our residents to enjoy an informational session, an educational session to start the day, and then a tour that follows shortly after that. A number of our residents have actually decided to come to these on more than one occasion to make sure that they're getting a good, accurate picture of what they need to do when they start to think about assisted living. One of my strong suggestions to our Shell Point residents is to certainly be educated. When should I start thinking about assisted living? Who do I go to when I want to find out more information? Or how does the waiting list work when I'm thinking about assisted living? At what time, at what point should I plan on having my name put on that waiting list? So these are all questions that we strive to achieve an answer for, provide you an answer for at our tea and tours. If you are interested in attending one or both of those sessions, the informational presentation is the same, it's identical. The tour is what is different. So if it works better for you to come to one and just have the tour, go to the other for both the presentation and the tour, it's your choice, whatever meets your schedule. We would ask that our Shell Point residents RSVP to 454-2077 if you would like to plan on attending one of those or both of those sessions. Another thing that we wanted to encourage our Shell Point residents is that if you have family members, children, your extended family, those folks, if you would like to have them attend, if they would like to have more information about assisted living, we're happy to have them be a part of that presentation and tour as well. You'll have an opportunity at both of these tea and tours to meet our case management staff. They are so important to that process of learning more about assisted living and accessing assisted living, that they are there to host the event as well. So we ask that you as a Shell Point resident plan on attending one of these sessions if you haven't attended one before, and if you want to just attend and renew your information, then we welcome you to do that as well. I hope you have a great day. Take care.
You will enjoy a light breakfast at 9 a.m. at the Arbor. And if you like, next week there will be another tour at the King's Crown. For more information, call 454-2077. Last Monday wrapped up the final day of the biennial quilt show. We took our camera out to the social center just in time for the announcement of the winner of the Quilt Challenge competition. And we also got an up-close look at these fabulous creations. Hi, I'm Dan Philgreen, and we're here in the Social Center to give you a bit of a look at the wonderful biennial Shell Point Quilt Show. There are so many beautiful quilts here that if you didn't get a chance to come, we wanted you to get to see some of them. So I have here Pat and Meredith. Pat, tell us how the quilt show is going.
From reports we've gotten, it is wow. That's the most often thing, or fantastic. It's wonderful.
Now, I know that this year is all new quilts. All the quilts are supposed to never have been shown before. I thought, where could we get that many quilts? But I see quilts everywhere.
Quilts everywhere. We've got them stored. We've given them away and get them back. Family quilts, heirloom quilts, the vintage quilts. We just have a lot of people that have quilts. And
they're a beautiful and a tremendous variety.
We had no restriction except that we wanted colorful quilts if we could get them. And people really want to show their quilts if they've got them because they've spent a lot of hours making them.
Absolutely. And if there's one thing we have here today, it's color, folks.
Lots of color. Sea of colors. You'll notice even the things at the bottom are covered with.
Yeah, that's a clever way to disguise an ugly thing. That's wonderful.
Now you like it. Okay, very good.
Thank you, Pat.
You're welcome.
This particular quilt was given to a thrift store, and the people from the thrift store in Sunnyvale brought it to us, the quilt group. So we adopted it, and I got it, and I finished it. So to finish it, I had to recut the circles and apply them by hand. So that's what they call hand appliqué. And then once you've done all of that, then you have to quilt it. So I quilted it all the way around. So you decide how you're going to do it, you know. And that's to take care of the 3 layers because a quilt consists of a backing, there's batting in the middle, and the top. And then we put a label so that people know who did it and when it was done. So I gave it a name, Cosmo, because of all the circles. And then you finish it by putting a binding. So it takes a while because first you have to decide what you're going to do. Then you have to buy the fabric, which is the fun part. Then you have to put it together, and then you can sew it by machine. All these pieces were sewn by machine. Just a circle were done by hand, and the quilting. So, and then you have a finished quilt.
So how many hours do you think you had in this one?
You wouldn't ask those questions. I don't know, because you do it a little at a time, you know. So some people do it very fast, and other people take a couple of years or more.
Wow. Well, it sure is beautiful, and there's such a variety, so many ideas that are represented.
I can show you one that was done in 2 years.
2 years.
And you'll be amazed. You want
Let's
to
take a look at the 2-year quilt.
2 years quilt, okay? There was a quilt made by a woman in the 1800s during the Civil War, and she designed and cut all these little blocks one by one. There's not 2 alike,
Wow.
and there's not 2 fabric alike, and it's all done by hand.
All by hand.
All by hand.
Whoa. That's a
And
lot of
it
work.
was done by our current quilt leader, whose name is Pat Meredith. And she does gorgeous stuff. So all this is handmade.
Wow.
She said it took her 2 years, which is quite good because
That's smoking fast. 2 years. That's
it
a
would have
fast
taken
quilt.
me a lot longer than that. And that one behind you is a Baltimore type quilt. Baltimore type quilt. It's all hand.
What makes it Baltimore?
The type of design that it is, which is usually square with a lot of flowers and birds and little houses. And it's all appliqué.
Kind of a puckery kind of
Yeah,
a thing, isn't
here's a little bud, a rosebud,
yeah.
and that is what makes it a Baltimore
Oh,
type
okay.
quilt.
All kinds of quilts for all kinds of folks.
All kinds of quilts. This quilt was started by our previous leader, and her name was Vera Graham. Am I saying this okay?
Vera Graham, okay.
Okay. And she started it. She had all those circles were cut, and she has a lot of the background block made. So we adopted it when she died, and we finished it. So it was a lot of work because this is all appliqué. And then we had a problem with some of the blocks were too small, so we made them bigger by putting a strip, you know.
Oh, that's ingenious.
And then we use the strip to make another design within the quilt.
Beautiful.
And then we put this together to give it a little light, you know, another dimension. And then we decided to put it on the silent auction.
Oh, so this is one of the ones that's for sale, actually.
Yes. And to our surprise, we thought that what we had finally decided after deliberation, how much was the minimum going to be,
Yes.
they didn't think it would sell. And now we've got the bid.
That's fantastic.
So we're very pleased.
So this is Vera's sister here. What did you think of how it ended up?
Well, I am pleased beyond belief.
Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it?
It is really lovely.
You think she would have approved?
I know she would have.
We have Joan Bell here, and this is the area that's displaying the challenge quilts for a little contest. Tell us about that, Joan.
Well, we were each given one fat quarter. That's a piece of fabric 18 by 22, quarter of a yard, and we were not allowed to discuss with each other what we were doing. It was a total secret until just a week ago when we revealed the ones that we had completed. If you look around the corner, there's a couple unfinished ones as well.
Very good. So, how many entries do we have in this challenge?
Just 9.
Just 9. Okay.
Makes it easy for voting.
Okay.
You don't have
So, who
to choose
will
from.
be the winner?
Hi, Shell Point. My name is Melody Desolé, and I am joined by very beautiful women standing in front of very beautiful quilts for the 2015 Sea of Colors Quilt Show Challenge. And we are about to announce the winner. So, ladies, if we can direct the camera behind us, look at all this talent in display. No quilt is the same. They are so different, which just shows the variety of talent and wonderful stitching and workmanship that went into each and every piece. So this year we had 444 votes for the viewer's choice. It was their favorite one, and we had 9 different quilts on display. And the winner, with 127 of the votes, is quilt number 3. So Pat Bays is our winner. Pat, can you tell us a little bit about your quilt and the inspiration behind it, please?
That is a Celtic quilt, and it is just taking little bitty pieces of bias material and sewing it so that it does not have a beginning or an end. So it goes under one, over the other.
Wonderful. Okay, we have a little trophy to present to you. It says Sea of Colors 2015 Shell Point Quilt Show Viewer's Choice Challenge winner. So here you are. You are all winners here today. You all did an immense amount of work, and we are so, so grateful for the talent and the beauty that you put together. So if we can give everyone a hand clap, thank you so, so much for all that you've done.
And now it's time to cover all of today's happenings, Academy news, menus, and Village Church connections, right after this preview of Listening to the Words with David Howenstein.
Insight trumps the sense of sight. A mother asks her legally blind son if he can see the birds he has noted in that tall tree, to which the boy says, "No, I heard them. Aren't they gorgeous?" A student describes her blind teacher as a mom, and moms can see everything. On the way back from the North Pole, they see them, frost flowers, colder than the Northern Ocean, blossoming and turning into something like giant snowflakes. Also in this week's program, you'll hear what Shell Pointer Nita DeWeese sees in her mirror. I'm your reader host, David Howenstein, inviting you to see by listening to the words, the program that repeats every half hour, all 7 days this week on Shell Point Channel 12. Remember, this is an encore performance in which there may be references originally made during the July 2013 program. Thank you for listening to the words.
Hello and welcome to the Happening segment of Shell Point TV. I'm Caitlin Van Scoy and this is Bev Chanley, and we're going to let you know all the activities that are happening here at Shell Point today. We're going to start with men's match play doubles tennis at 8 a.m. That'll be at the Woodlands Tennis Courts. Then there's virtual bowling at 8:45 in the Resident Activity Center. Billiards is at 9:15 in the Resident Activity Center on the island. And the Lollygaggers paddlers will be headed out for the weekly outing at 9:15, and that'll meet at the kayak storage. Pottery with instruction will be in the pottery studio down in the Island Tunnel at 9:15. And then we have men's match play doubles tennis at the Woodlands tennis courts at 10 a.m. The Suzy Q heads out at 10 a.m. to Matanzas on the Bay, and you do need to sign up for that. 10:30 is the time for the Disciple men's study group. That'll be at the Woodlands game room. 10:45, we have table tennis clinic. That'll be down in the Tarpon room. And we finish the morning off with the Health Connections class at 11:30, specifics and cardio conditioning. That's in the health club and it's currently full. Here's Bev for our afternoon activities.
Thank you, Caitlin. At 12 o'clock today, we start with Mahjong. That'll be played in the Sable Room at the Woodlands. 1:15 is the time you'll find advanced table tennis down in the Tarpon Room. Also at 1:15, Samba. The card game will be played at the Resident Activity Center. The Tone Shines group will be in the Osprey Room at 1:15. From 1:30 to 3:30, the Model Train Room will be open for tours. We're going to move to 1:45 for a Health Connections class, Balance and Mobility Training Level 1. That's in the Health Club and that's currently full. And the Beady-Eyed Bead Club will be in the Oak Room at 2 o'clock. We have another Health Connections class at 3 o'clock, and this one is Pilates Stretch. That's in the Health Club. 3:15, the Shell Point Singers Rehearsal will be at the Choir Room at the Village Church. And we have another Health Connections class at 3:30, Aqua Agility and Conditioning. That's in the LifeQuest Aquatic Center. 4 o'clock's the time for pickleball at the Pickleball Court. And then we move to 5:30 for the singles table at the Crystal Dining Room. Duplicate bridge will be in the game room of the Woodlands at 6:30. And also at 6:30, it's the Open Dance hosted by the Square Dance Group. And that will be in the Health Club, and it goes from 6:30 to 8:30. At 7:30, we have the Southwest Florida Symphony Series at the Village Church. You do need to have a ticket for that event. We thank you for joining us today, and we will see you back here again tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Terry Kolath with your Academy information for Monday, March 16th. At 9 o'clock, our AARP Smart Driver course begins in the Grand Cypress Room of the Woodlands. Sign up is required. At 10:15, we have an iPhone, iPod, and iPad photography class continuing in the Manatee Room on the island. And at 10:30, Anatomy of Words continues in the Oak Room of the Woodlands, and they welcome everybody. At 1:15, we have From Shoebox to Spreadsheets, continuing in the Technology Teaching Center on the island. We have 2 classes coming up tomorrow that I'd like to tell you about. First off, celebrate St. Patrick's Day with a brief history of Ireland by Professor Adrian Kerr and a wee bit of music along with a St. Patrick's Day treat for those who have signed up. We also have Apple device security using password protection keychain with Bruce Findlay of Sundial.
Menus for Monday. In the Crystal Room, the Crystal Platter is grilled marinated chicken breast with ratatouille and pasta. The dinner special is All Home Cooking Night for $11.95, and the soup of the day is split pea. In the Island Cafe for lunch, the special is a turkey Cobb salad wrap with chips for $7.25. The dinner special is mango grilled shrimp with island rice and fresh fruit for $8.25, and the Palm Grill is closed on Mondays. All menus are available 24 hours a day at www.shellpoint.net.
Welcome to Village Church Connections. I'm David Pavey. Lord, who may dwell in your sanctuary? Asked the psalmist David. Who may live on your holy hill? Sanctuary, holy hill. Today we no longer think in terms of living in the Jewish house of worship or on Mount Zion, but we still want to live close to God. At least I hope we do. I do. So how do we do that? Good question. Living close to God requires that we obey Him. Ironically, however, it's in obeying God that we experience true freedom. With the reopening of the Statue of Liberty some time ago, freedom resurfaced as a popular theme in America. though it was and is often misunderstood. The huddled masses longing to be free soon found out that freedom is not license. Their freedom required them to live in obedience to the laws of their adopted country. It's amazing to read in Scripture that even Christ pleased not himself. Now think about that. Even Christ pleased not himself. Jesus himself said, I do always those things that please my Father. Always. So God calls believers to obedience to him in the spirit of this psalm. He wants us to have a life marked by righteousness, integrity, kindness. This is real freedom. Freedom from our propensity to evil. Freedom from selfish living. Freedom not to do our own thing. Freedom to please God is our highest priority. One day a boy told his father, Dad, I want to be free. Son, came the reply, son, when you do what you're told, you'll be really free. The Christian who wants to live close to God as King David did is free not to mock the religion of Muslims and others. The Christian who wants to live close to God is free not to shoot or loot as a means of protesting injustice, real or perceived. If we want to live close to God, we need to follow the example of Jesus and do always those things that please God, our Heavenly Father. So, how are you doing? Are you living close to God today? And thank you for tuning in to Village Church Connections.
Thanks for joining us today on Shell Point Today. Come back tomorrow when we'll see what's blooming at the Orchid House. Greg Pindara will tell us about the St. Patty's Day Buffet, and we'll get an update from the Village Church Women's Ministries Global Outreach. Until then, this is Dan Filgreen for Monday, March 16th. From all of us here at SPTV, we hope you have a great day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.